Khan Academy, we're working on dividing decimals, and then the subtopic, divide whole numbers to get a decimal, one-digit divisors. Divide, express your answer as a decimal. So 27 divided by 4. So one of the keys here is to remember that when we're setting up our long division to solve this problem, the 4 is going to go on the outside of our little box, and then 27 will go on the inside. And then we're just going to solve this as we normally would a long division problem. So 4 fits into 2 0 times. Okay, and I always like to try to make sure my numbers line up on the top. It will just make things a little bit easier as we go on. So 0 times 4 is 0. And then I subtract, and I get 2. And I bring down my 7. 4 fits into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. And I subtract and get 3. And this is where typically we would end our long division problem and say that our answer is 6 remainder 3. When we're dividing to get a decimal, we are going to keep going. Okay, when we divide to get a decimal, you have to get a remainder of 0 to know that you are done. So in this case, I'm going to add a decimal underneath, and I am going to add a 0. So by doing that, I did not change the number at all here. Okay, 27 is the same as 27.0, but it just gives me more numbers to use when I'm dividing. So I added a decimal here, so now I have to bring that same decimal up into my answer. Okay, and then I can bring my 0 down. And now instead of just saying my remainder is 3, I brought that 0 down. So now I can say 4 fits into 30. How many times? Well, 4 fits into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. And when I subtract, I'll get 2. And again, it's not a 0, so I'm not done. So I'm going to add another 0 on. Bring that 0 down. 4 fits into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And when I do my subtraction, I would get 0. So my final answer is going to be 6.75. Now in 5th grade, we probably will never ask you to add more than probably 3 zeros. So if you start going and you're adding 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and the problem is never ending, stop and recheck. You probably made a mistake somewhere, because in 5th grade, we're not going to make you add more than 3 zeros. So 3 divided by 4. Now let's not make that mistake. Remember, we've got to put the 4 on the outside and the 3 on the inside. So then I'm going to do my division. 4 fits into 3 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract, and I get 3. So normally we would end there and say 0 remainder 3. We're not going to do that. We're going to add a decimal, 0. When I add that decimal, I need to bring my decimal straight up to my answer as well. And then I can drop down my 0. 4 fits into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. When I subtract, I borrow here, and then I do 10 minus 8, so I get 2. I cannot have a remainder when I'm dividing by when I have a decimal. So I have my 0, bring it down again. 4 fits into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And when I subtract, I get 0. So I know that I'm done. So my answer here would be 0.75. 5 divided by 2. So for this one again, we're going to put our 2 on the outside and our 5 on the inside. 2 fits into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. And then I subtract and get 1. And then I can't have a remainder, so I'm going to add my decimal and put a 0. And I'm also going to move that decimal straight up so I don't forget about it. And I can bring that 0 down now. 2 fits into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. And when I subtract, I get 0, so I know that I'm done. So 2.5. 39 divided by 6, so 6 fits into 39. 6 fits into 3 0 times. 0 times, ooh, that got kind of little there, didn't it? 0 times. There. 0 times 6 is 0. Subtract, and I get 3. And then bring down the 9. 6 fits into 39 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, and I get 3. I know I can't be done because it asked for a decimal answer. So I'm going to add a decimal and a 0. And I'm going to move that decimal up so I don't forget about it. I'm going to move that 0 down. 6 fits into 30 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. And 30 take away 30 would be 0, so I know I am done. 6.5.